If you're in the market for a new car, getting the right auto loan is important for keeping your budget intact. Here with some auto loan tips is Yahoo Finance contributor and host of Financial Freestyle on Yahoo Finance, Ross Mack. Hey, Ross.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good. Okay, so what do people need to be keeping in mind as they're trying to make sure that affordability is being prioritized, but also protection and coverage when they're making that auto purchase?
First things first, you gotta know your budget when you're in the market for a car, right? I think when we start thinking about what we're spending our money on, quite often we're overspending, especially when it comes to a car. A good rule of thumb, try not to spend more than 10% of your monthly take-home income, right? And so just to give you an idea, the average car note payment for this year, 2024, for a new car is roughly $723, meaning that a person should be making $7,000 take-home income, right? And so obviously that's not the average. So as you can see, quite often a person probably will be overspending when it comes to a car unless they're willing to live within their means. Another thing to think about is you have to prioritize your credit score, because that could be the difference in paying, thousands of dollars just based on purely the interest rate that you're going to get, right? And I think another thing, as you're thinking about your credit score, you want to say, what could I be doing now leading up until that time I purchase my car? Meaning you don't want to make any new big purchases, aka applying for any new credit. You don't want to be closing down any other credit cards or any credit that you have, because that's going to just overall make your length of credit history lower. And another thing to think about is just understanding overall with your affordability. You need to go into the market saying, hey, there are other costs associated with that car, not just the car note. You got insurance, you got maintenance, you got obviously the interest rate and a few other things, gas.
Right. And so if someone has dotted their I's, crossed their T's, everything, and secured themselves a loan, it's now the time to head to the dealership. What are some tips that people should follow to make sure that they stay within their budget when they're making that purchase?
I love that. I think first things first, go online and get pre-approved going into the dealership. I love the concept of going in there saying, hey, I've been pre-approved for $60,000 or for whatever the number is, right? And then that gives you the ability to still stay within that range and not, be tempted with a few other things, right? Because when you go in there, you got to understand that dealer financing often is more expensive, right? I think, the car salesman might make more money if you're using dealer financing as opposed to saying, oh, I'm pre-approved, here's my paperwork, I'm ready to go. And so that's something to think about. Another thing to think about is, understand those add-ons, right? That car salesman say, hey, do you want this extended warranty, or do you want this, or do you want that? It sounds good, but just understand how quickly you can go from a $50,000 car to $65,000 with a few add-ons. So those are the things that I would recommend.
Right, do I need the sport package? Do I need it? Is it gonna get me to work faster? This is just an A to B car. Ross, thanks so much for taking the time.
Always.
Appreciate it. Great to see you. And make sure to check out Financial Freestyle on Yahoo Finance, Mondays, 12 p.m. Eastern with the man himself, Ross Mack.